Every time I have a conversation, somebody always sighs dramatically, so I'm gonna try to avoid a sigh in this conversation. Bao sighed. Okay, hello. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. My dog is over there, scratching a hole to nowhere. Today I thought it would be fun to go through and edit some of my dialogue, because I recently wrote a lot of dialogue heavy chapters, and when I'm writing, when I'm in my flow state, I don't stop and add dialogue tags or anything else to the scene. It's just floating head dialogue, which is fine for a first draft, but obviously that's not the finished product. So we're gonna go through here and we're gonna edit my dialogue together. This is very vulnerable. I'm showing you this. I'm a little scared to do that. If you're new here, if you somehow don't know, I am writing a novel, but to take the pressure off of writing a novel, I am writing a fan fiction, which I can very easily change the names of all the characters at the end, and then I will have an original story, but we're just doing this because the vibes are better when it's less serious. So, I never turn the ring light on. I don't think I need it. Wait, okay, here's the chapter. Blah, 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 blah. We're gonna just scroll down to the dialogue. As you do. So she comes in and she says, "Is this some kind of joke?" I asked. He turned to face me. "What gave you that impression?" More dialogue here, blah, blah, blah. So, first glaring issue. So the reason that I couldn't figure out what to write here and that I just skipped it was because the next line of dialogue is a segue. And this dialogue that I skipped right here, this needs to perfectly transition from my character being upset that she is forced to go to this function, while also transitioning into a way for him to say, "Consider it a work obligation." I honestly think we might be leaving this here for now, and this is going to be something that I have to come back and do later, because I'm not in the headspace of coming up with good sentences right now. And then here, everything looks good. Oh, that doesn't look good. You can tell I was writing this on my phone because of the apostrophes. When I type them out on my keyboard, they curve the correct way, but when I type them out on my phone, they just stick straight up. So I'm trying to fix them when I find them. This is the next conversation. This is the one that I really wanted to dig into. So when I got home that evening, I called Bao. "I'm seriously freaked out right now," I said into the phone. "Ning, relax," he said. "This is probably a good thing." Does that feel like human words? Ning, relax. This is probably a good thing. Yeah, that feels like human words. Okay. This is probably a good thing. It doesn't sound good when you enunciate every word, but like when you actually like read it, when you like voice act it, you know? Ning, relax. Probably? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, there's one of them goddamn apostrophes again. So here's the thing. I need a dialogue tag here. Or do I? I'm trying to decide. Because if you don't know what a dialogue tag is, it's the he said, she said. It's the lines that signal that somebody is about to start talking, like right here. They can be as short as he said, she said, or they can be longer, like this sentence. Like, "When I got home that evening, I called Bao." And then this is like setting up that the conversation is about to start. This dialogue tag right here, I said into the phone, is implying that it's a phone conversation. But you see how it's redundant, which is what I'm just discovering, because both of these dialogue tags imply that she's talking on the phone. So one of them has got to go, and it's going to be this one. I want to kind of change this dialogue tag here that he said to add a little bit more context that we're on the phone. He said his voice was grainy. Can a voice be grainy? The phone that they're talking into is like one of those old cord phones, because the story is set in the yassified 2000s. And it's the yassified early 2000s because when there is an anachronism, when there is something historically incorrect that goes on in the early 2000s of this story, I can just blame it on the fact that it's been yassified by me, because this is my version of the early 2000s. When they're using the wrong slang and when they have a technology that isn't available in the real early 2000s, hey, it's been yassified. It's fine. And also, I never explicitly give dates, which is another way that I can kind of get away with this. So I need to give enough context for the reader for them to figure out that we're in the yassified early 2000s, but also not too much context to the point where they can point out things that are wrong with the setting. I'm going to add something here that conveys that he is speaking through the phone. Relax. His voice reached me through the phone, because I never said the word phone. His voice had the static twang of a phone. The static twang. This is the good stuff right here. This is what happens. This is how the brain works. With a static twinge? No. His voice was staticky through the phone? Yeah, his voice was staticky through the phone. We'll come back to that later. It was covered in static. His voice was covered in phone static? No, his voice was staticky. Staticky? Yeah. Okay, so I spelled through wrong. The good thing we have autocorrect, right? Okay, staticky. Is that? Let's define that. Make sure it's the right word. Oh, thank you, dictionary. Probably? What's that supposed to mean? Okay, I want to convey that she's, like, exasperated. Maybe, like, a face palm? Like, she, or she's wrapping her finger around in the phone cord, because we haven't established that the phone is corded yet, and I think that's important for the reader to know. I began twirling my fingers. Fingers. I began twirling a finger around in the phone cord. We're gonna twirl the finger after. Right. No one has sighed yet, but I feel like someone's gonna be sighing later on. Every time I have a conversation, somebody always sighs dramatically, so I'm gonna try to avoid a sigh in this conversation. I begin nervously twirling. I began nervously twirling a finger around on the phone cord. There we go. Hey. And they said it couldn't be done. There's no better place to do spying than inside that man's house. Now, I know that do spying is not the proper conjugation of this verb, alright? People don't speak properly all of the time, especially not this fucking guy, okay? You're a spy, right? There's no better place to do spying than inside that man's house. Like, that flows really well. I know it's incorrect. You're gonna deal with it. Look at this, right? So we've got quotation mark, quotation mark, quotation mark, quotation mark. There's too many quotation marks starting the sentences, so I need something in front of this quotation mark to break it up. Because when it's just quotation mark, quotation mark, quotation mark, quotation mark, that, to me as a reader, everything starts to blend together and I get lost into the sauce. So I need to break up the sauce. His voice carried no concern. None of my concern. He voice. Nutty voice. What if his wife tries to kill me or something? I was twisting my finger around in the phone cord. Alright, so we've already done this. I already said she was doing that. So now we're going to come down here to where I previously wrote it, and we're going to change this. Like, now her finger is turning red, so she's letting it go. When you would twist your finger around in a cord, how far did you let it go? Because I always started to get nervous when it started to show the first inkling of purple. Then I'd be like, oh, we're out. Like, great minds, truly. Like, me and past me, we're on the same wavelength, but I'm a little bit farther ahead than she is. You know, she's lagging behind, and that's okay because we're here to fix it. My finger was rapidly turning a deep shade of red. We'll leave that for now. That's decent. His voice carried. Wait a minute. I did the wrong one. It's this fucking ring light. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna control Z and get my old sentence back. Yeah, and then we're gonna put that where it's supposed to be. There we go. See, this is editing. Editing mistakes. Editing fixes. Back down to here. Bow side. Okay, like I said, we're gonna try to avoid the word side. Bow sounded exasperated. Bow made an exasperated noise. Or did I use the word sound already? I did not. Okay, so we're good. You know Kung Fu. It'll be fine. Darn these apostrophes. Oh, no. The dialogue tags need descriptions. STFU haters. Okay, that is my way of signaling that this is where I stopped doing it. So, STFU haters. I released attention on the phone cord before I replied. I tried to avoid doing that. Okay, did I use the word reply yet? I love the word replied. Replied is always on the tip of my tongue. Someone is always replying. Okay, but we need to avoid that. I don't like that. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna dwell on it. We're gonna put brackets around responded and then come back to it later. That's what I do, okay? I put brackets around the things I don't want to deal with just yet. It saves me a ton of headache. Okay, because maybe right now I don't have the word, but tomorrow it could be there. And why stress out about today what I might not be stressed out about tomorrow? I could almost hear the smirk on his. It's really hard too because this is a phone conversation, right? So you can't really describe what the characters look like. You can't be like, he smirked at me, she smiled, I reached out. You can't, like, there's not a lot to interact with in a phone conversation. Like, you can obviously have your characters be like, I imagine that he's looking at X, Y, and Z right now. I imagine that he has this expression on his face, whatever. You can do that, but I would say to do it sparingly because I would get annoyed as a reader if I kept reading, like, I imagine his hand grabbing the, like, I don't care. I don't care about what you're imagining, bitch. Tell me what is really happening. Okay, yeah, so I can't really think of anything right now. I think it's the ring light. I truly think the ring light is making my brain glitch. So I'm just gonna put this here. I'm gonna come back later and rephrase this sentence. And just because you've done it before doesn't mean it's any less dangerous. That flows better. I'm sorry about the Merlin Mania thing. It's not funny anymore, and I admit I was being an asshole, and trust me, wait a minute, I just fucking glitched. And trust me, I know what I'm getting into. No, but trust me. Apology accepted, but I'm not gonna stop worrying. I need to decide if I'm gonna write out gonna or if I'm not. Because sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. And I feel like gonna, that's just what people say. I'm never like, I'm going to, like, I'm gonna. Okay, you're gonna. About you just because I trust you, it almost makes me worry about you more. It actually makes me worry about you more. A knock at my door interrupted me. Would it be better if I said I was interrupted by a knock at the door? The conversation was interrupted by a knock at the door? A knock at my door interrupted me. Who cares? It's just the door, girl. We know it's your door. My door? No, bitch, it's the door. If we're not getting hyper specific about pronouns and what do you call the words the and a? What are those called? Those aren't prepositions. Oh my god, my English teacher is mad at me right now. What is it called? Is the an article? Honestly, yes, the is a definite article. Thank you, Google AI. I quickly said goodbye to Bao and hung up the phone. Outside, a mailman was holding a rectangular box with a lavender ribbon around it. That's a boring, fucking sentence, but the ring light is burning the ring light, oh my god. The ring light's burning a hole in my brain, so I can't really think of a way to fix it. That's all the dialogue that I wanted to go through today. I hope that this was like a fun little journey into, my mind. And honestly, this is editing, so like we're here to nitpick. So if you have something you'd like to nitpick about the way my dialogue is, or a single word bothered you, feel free reign. Okay, we're all in this together. Nah. What's up, guys? I'm 16. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next writing vlog. Also, if you notice the background is different, that's because I started working on my Arrow Season 4 video on my main channel. So, if you want to subscribe to that, check the link for the Crochet Bandit in the description. You can check out my real masterpiece, okay? Screw the novel that I've been writing for like over a year now. This thumbnail.